Welcome to tacosandgeeks.com. Justin here, and today we are going to be reviewing the comic book White Savior #1 from Dark Horse Comics. This is written by Eric Nguyen and Scott Berman. Artist is Eric Nguyen. Colors is Iwan Joko. Probably botched your name. Apologize for that. As always, they give you a brief synopsis, so here we go. An ancient prophecy foretold of an outsider that will save the peaceful village of Inoki from an unstoppable army. A man who would confuse the people at first with his unconventional ways, but lead them to the light. Nathan, captain in the United States Army known for his viciousness in battle on the American frontier, could be that man if he weren't such an awful drunken idiot. Now it's up to Japanese American teacher Todd Parker to warn the good people of Inoki of Nathan's true nature before he causes the very death and destruction they are counting on him to avert. And this was fun. This was a fun. This is a satire. This is a spoof of a certain trope that we have seen over and over again, which is the white savior, um, white savior trope. You've seen it in such movies as The Last Samurai, Great Wall. So what this book does is take that trope and turn it upside down and let the hero be the person who's probably part of that ethnicity or village, and that's what basically this is, as you can see from the cover here of what Nathan's fate is. One thing I really do like is the fact that it addresses certain aspects of stereotypes right from the get-go when it comes to Asian Americans, such as doing math, knowing karate. As you can see, I don't know karate. I can't magically heal you with my hands, and I suck at math, so get over it. So Eric makes a point when writing this to pretty much address those stereotypes and say, nah, this ain't this type of story. We're just going to you have an Asian man here named Todd Parker, which is probably the least Asian name you can think of. Like everything that you're thinking of, Eric probably addresses in just a couple of pages already in this book. And right already, it kind of kills that notion of what you're expecting from a book like this and makes you focus more or less on the identity and more on who Todd is as a character, which I definitely call a breath of fresh air, where we're just actually now just focusing on the story here. So what happens here? As I'm gonna keep this very spoiler free as well. So what happens is that Todd, his grandfather was telling him the legend of Nathan and of these stories, and Todd, who's a teacher, a history teacher, is like, I don't remember this in any books. And he's going back and forth with this debate with his grandfather, and his grandfather's like, "Oh, because your books wouldn't have this. This is passed down from generation to generation." And Todd is just like, "Well, this looks like one hell of the worst game of telephone ever." And things happen in the story where Todd is which is hilarious to me, is he's being a sage. There's a scene that happens here which I found hilarious because he happens to start. He sees a woman in trouble and he goes to rescue the damsel in distress, which is where the spoof and satire comes into play. It's kind of like, wait, you're doing the exact same thing here that your grandfather and things that you're saying, hey, don't do this, the savior trope, but you are the savior trope when you come to save this girl, which I found that really fun to read, because something happens to him where him saving someone doesn't end up the way you're gonna think it's gonna end up. Usually, you save the girl, you get her name, her number. What Eric does here, it turns in your head, it's like, oh wow, okay, and it leaves some type of mystery of like who this particular person is. Overall, I think the story was really well done. I something happens towards the end, which, like I said, I'm keeping this very vague and spoiler free as much as possible. But there's something that happens. There's a couple of lines here, dialogue, that pay off towards the end, and you start to realize that maybe he should have paid a little bit more attention and respect to his grandfather and the traditions that his grandfather was actually trying to give him. I like the character of Todd. I like the fact that he has kind of this sense of justice, and he kind of has this he's a very determined guy. I like this character. I thought the art style as well is really good as well. I like the details, very vibrant colors, really good illustration here. I'm gonna recommend this. You definitely have to pick this up for this week of coming up for comics. It's a fun read. It turns certain tropes upside down. You're gonna have some twists and turns that you're not expecting, especially towards the end. And it's 1 to 4 books, so definitely is gonna keep you reading. So this is Justin from tacosthegeeks.com. Did you pick up White Savior? Comment below. Let me know. As always, you can check out, if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That's very important, by the way. And if you're watching this from tacosthegeeks.com, please browse our website. We have more interviews, more reviews. We have lists, everything else. So as always, I'm going to say later days. I'll catch you on the next one. Definitely check out White Savior. Very fun book to read. Peace. Later days.